Hello everyone, Andy Schwab here with your Northern Ag TV. Well, elected officials from Wyoming are applauding the BLM announcement to discuss the amendments to the Rock Springs Resource Management Plan. Congresswoman Harriett Hageman said the plan from the Biden administration fundamentally conflicts with a decades-long work undertaken by stakeholders, and they developed a reasonable RMP which complies with FLTMA. Hageman added that the BLM returns to the drawing board as it's important that they protect the legacies and industries and access to recreation. Hageman's press release also pointed out that the 4 alternatives analyzed during the planning process, the BLM actually selected the most restrictive and less studied of them all. Now, Wyoming Governor Mark Gordon also welcomed the news by saying this is an opportunity to correct a flawed document. Well, the USDA's Foreign Agricultural Service is now accepting applications for its upcoming agribusiness trade mission to Taiwan from September 29th through October 1st. U.S. exporters interested in expanding their trade opportunities in Taiwan's thriving agricultural market must apply by next Tuesday, June 17th. FAS Administrator Daniel Whitley said, with the strong economic growth and proven demand for high-quality U.S. food in Taiwan, now is an ideal time for U.S. agribusinesses to expand their presence. Taiwan is actually the 8th largest American agricultural exporter, and they have trade increasing 16% from 2019 to 2024. Well, ag groups are also sounding the alarm to Congress that there's a crisis in farm country. It has been one that is growing for years as farmers are starting to age out with fewer younger farmers willing to take over. Aaron Locker, managing director of the executive search firm Kincannon and Reed, told the House Committee on Aging that this year, more people will be turning 65 than any other year in history, which is a problem exacerbated in agriculture.
In agriculture, where many senior leaders have been in place for decades, this creates an acute succession challenge. And the next generation of leaders, especially those with agricultural backgrounds, is smaller than ever.
Locker and other ag groups are calling for a strong new farm bill, less regulations, more research money, and ag career promotion and training. Well, we need to take a quick break. We're going to come back to talk about some very high cash cattle markets and really good prices across much of the ag sector.
From the beginning, we've worked closely with farmers. BNSF's ties to the agricultural community go back 175 years. Together, we've innovated to make the U.S. agriculture supply chain one of the most efficient and productive in the world. Our strong relationship powers BNSF still today and helps us move the nation like no one else can. At BNSF, we move the nation for you.
Talking with someone that you know is stressed out, those are difficult things to approach, but if you're good friends with those people, reach out and say, I'm here to talk to you. We can find somewhere to get some assistance. It's hard to get involved, but at the same time, you want to just say, hey, there is help available.
For more tips in dealing with stress in agriculture or for free counseling for egg producers, visit beyondtheweather.com.
Hands down, last week's negotiated cash cattle sector was one of the best ever that we've been able to report on. On the hoof prices jumped $10 to $13 in the negotiated cash cattle markets, with northern cattle averaging $242 a hundredweight. In addition, dress cattle were higher by double digits, with their average hitting $380 a hundredweight, despite box beef values having a sideways trading fashion last week. That top-heavy market, though, does have many concerned of a looming crash. However, prices continue to surprise us all in the meantime. Turning to your local auction front, cull cows are the highlight of many sale barns, of course. For buffalo livestock last week, prices had no problem pushing into the high $160 money for the average, with the slaughtered cows and short-term bred cows, or cow-calf pairs more so, well, they're finding good demand as well. And the wheat futures were really the big winner last week on the futures board as the Russia-Ukraine conflict continued to ramp up. One thing, though, that dampened their prices were their weekly crop progress report that showed minor improvements, and it really could have similar impacts later today when it's released. For the row crops, they also enjoyed a late week rally that pushed the deferred contracts higher, and those exports actually jumped 26% from the previous marketing year. Well, that's going to do it for our Ag News here on Northern Ag TV. I'm Andy Schwab. Have a great rest of your day.